everybody. Welcome to Bowling on ESPN. I'm Mike Jakubowski, along with Hall of Famer Mike Durbin.
Mike, nice to be working with you.
And Mike, the Mini-Eliminator is really becoming something special.
It's a very popular tournament with the bowlers because of the format. It attracts bowlers from all over the country and even some foreign countries.
Which takes us to the top of our stepladder finals tonight. Our #1 player is Mike Truitt.
Mike Truitt is a former PBA member. He's currently a co-owner of a pro shop and a fireman.
And moving down the ladder to our #2 qualifier, Joel Reyes.
He's a graduate from San Diego State University, the only left-hander on the telecast.
#3 position, Harry Mickelson.
A former school teacher, a math school teacher. He's the only senior on our telecast.
And in the #4 position, Greg Lindemann.
He's from Longview, Washington, where he's an assistant manager in a bowling center there. This is his first telecast of any kind.
And a little bit different format tonight. 6 players make the telecast. Vernon Peterson, first frame with a strong opening shot.
Our national amateur champion showing how it's done. His opponent, local favorite here, Bob McDonough, currently is in the 4th frame. He struggled the first 3 frames but stayed clean. Makes a decent shot here, gets it in the 1-3 but light. The 7-pin doesn't cooperate. He converts the next frame in the 5th. Forced with making the 6-10 to stay clean. He doesn't do it and falls behind.
And Peterson working on 3 strikes in the 6th, drives the final nail home.
4-bagger puts him up by a commanding 40 pins.
And final score, Vernon Peterson 238, Bob McDonough 188. Vernon Peterson goes on to face our #4 qualifier, Greg Lindemann. The championship round finals of the 4th annual Mini-Eliminator are being brought to you by Storm. Take cover. Here comes the Meteor Storm. And by Turbo 2-in-1. We have a grip on bowling. And by Hedon, taking the quality of bowling to a new plateau. And welcome back to Sam's Town for the Mini-Eliminator here in 1997. Greg Lindemann will lead off on lane 19, bowling on lanes 19 and 20 here at Sam's Town.
From Longview, Washington, 5-step player. Playing a little bit inside. Gets it in the 1-3, but leaves the 10-pin right out of the gate.
First time on television anywhere for this player.
Well, it's a quality shot to start it off with. Now he needs to get his act together and convert the 10-pin using the same ball. Cross lane at the 10-pin, throws it straight, hard and straight, converts it.
Pretty good opening frame for a player with no previous tournament experience. Shot in the pocket, good spare, should loosen him up a little bit.
And right now, Vernon Peterson definitely loose already, 238, and it could have been more. That was with taps.
8 strikes in that match, 4 strikes on each lane, so he spread it around pretty good.
And most of them were just like that, right dead flush in the pocket.
'97 member of Team USA, picking up the 1996 U.S. National Amateur Championship last August in St. Louis, defeating Chris Barnes.
That's the same way he started the last match when he defeated local favorite Bob McDonough with a strike. This time he's off with a quick double. So Greg Lindemann gets a tiger as we take a look at the powerful form here of Vernon Peterson. Ball arcing out about to the 8th board or so. When it makes its move back to the 1-3 pocket, just 10 in the pit.
And Lindemann right back with a strike on the right lane. Taking that double in stride.
Well, he needs to get one of his own right here to put a little pressure on Peterson.
Lindemann is the assistant manager at Fox Bowl in Longview. He's been there 9 years.
For the double. And another 10-pin. Nice shot. 6 just didn't quite cooperate to get that 10. Again, he's going to use the same ball and go cross lane at the 10 pin. Kind of kills it. Throws it really hard. Uh-oh. He said it immediately, said, oh no, he knew he'd missed it as soon as he let it go. Well, that's what you don't want to do against the national amateur champion. Peterson's also, did you know, a cab driver?
Yes, he drives for his father, part-time.
For 3 in a row? Oh, just perfect. Well, as he did against McDonough, he takes a quick opening lead. He's already up 32 pins. We haven't had time to get settled here.
The only shots that were not strikes in match 1 against McDonough were 3 10-pin leaves.
I'd say he's wired. How about you?
All strikes and all 10s. 4th frame.
Trying for 4 in a row. That's how it's done, folks.
Vernon Peterson, 42-pin leader. We'll be back with more of the Mini-Eliminator.
We're back in the 4th frame here. Greg Lindemann is up on lane 20, and joining us in the booth is one of the co-sponsors of this event, the president of Storm Bowling Balls, Bill Christman. Bill, welcome.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
We're just fine. I understand that that Storm has got a new product that they're trying to promote right now.
Yeah, we introduced our newest bowling ball, a mid-price reactive bowling ball, the Meteor Storm this week. Unfortunately for us, it hooked a little too much for this condition, so you're not going to see it on TV today.
Well, I'm sure we'll see it on future telecasts that ESPN has as Greg tries for a quick double here and gets his first double of the match. Storm has support for a new tournament coming out now, too, don't they?
Yeah, we're putting together, along with Turbo 2-in-1 and a promoter, the first Megabuck team tournament to be held in November. It'll be at the Orleans Casino Bowling Center here in Las Vegas. We're pretty excited about it because of the team concept. It's going to be, like I say, a Megabuck tournament with a lot of money involved.
With a lot of money for the team players. As Vernon Peterson just got his 5th strike in a row here.
All 5 solid in the pocket.
Well,
Front 5 for Peterson.
That's where he's been the whole night tonight so far, Mike.
See if he can take it to 6th frame.
Yeah, we've got another $1,000 added for a 300 game. Maybe he's going to get a little more of my money here.
Well, he's halfway home, and he's made all of them. This is a replay of the 6th one, but it could have been any of the 6 right now because they all look just like that, Bill.
Great shots. Great shots.
So what are some of the upcoming innovations that Storm is going to be looking for doing in 1998?
We've got an entirely new bag line we're introducing this year, along with a complete ball care system as far as polishes and cleaners that we're pretty excited about, geared to the consumer and to the pro shop, to teach people how to care for their ball and make their ball actually work better on different conditions and last a little bit longer.
Does it make it bigger to make this 310?
No, not necessarily. He didn't do that.
Lindemann didn't need it.
He didn't need it, that's for sure.
Well, right now, Greg Lindemann bowling a decent game right here, but trailing by 54 pins.
Lindemann's the 1997 Oregon Bowling Association Bowler of the Year. Picking up a recent doubles victory with partner Kurt Bogner. Needs a strike.
7th frame.
Oh.
That break leaves the solid 9 right now. Bill, I understand that, it must be really a thrill for Storm to be involved in sponsoring tournaments like the Mini-Eliminator.
Yeah, we enjoy doing this quite a bit. We like to be involved and put a little back into bowling and, continue to develop our company through venues like this.
And we'll be back with more of the Mini-Eliminator. Vernon Peterson, your leader. Back after this. 7th frame, 65-pin lead in the front 6 for Peterson. Can take it to 75 with the 7th.
A little wide. Oh, got the nice carry.
Shreds the rag.
Here's a replay of that shot as he sends it a little wider out to about the 7th board, comes in light. And I still can't figure out what hit the 10-pin there, but something did.
65-pin lead, 8th frame. Winner goes on to face number 3 qualifier, Harry Mickelson.
Well, I think the winner is pretty well determined, but right through the heart, it just snaps up there, and no break leaves the 4-6 after 7 in a row.
And no sooner said than one of those appears.
Fires at the 4-pin, doesn't bounce it out of there. Still a great first 8 frames for Vernon Peterson.
And a big, big lead. 51 pins. Greg Lindemann in his 8th frame. Looking at a possible 225.
Nice shot there in the 8th frame. Right now, he's just trying to do the best he can, get as many pins as possible. Peterson would need a mark in one of the last 2 frames in order to secure a victory right here, but you never know. Hasn't done it yet. 9th frame.
And a double. Keeping alive. Vernon Peterson, however, at a 240 pace. Can close it out with a mark here in his 9th.
And we want to thank Bill Chrisman, the president of Storm Bowling Balls, for joining us and contributing some of the comments that he had. 9th frame. Light again, leaves the 10-pin. A spare here, and that'll be about all he needs. His heels hang over the back of the approach.
Vernon Peterson hot and moving up the ladder. Peterson with a commanding lead at the end of 9 frames.
Just trying to stay and keep the stroke for the next match, which she's doing. Very intense young man. No smiles, no playing to the crowd, just all business and all strikes.
He's hot now, but Mike, it took 6 times to qualify. 6 tries. Repeats that were possible here at the Mini-Eliminator. It took him 6 times to get into the field. But he's found his stroke now.
He gets a little quicker as each shot goes along. He's going to try and go through this entire field, he's going to need to keep that rhythm, kind of throttle it down a little bit.
.246 final score for Vernon Peterson.
And Greg Lindemann is a decent game here. Missing the spare back in the 3rd frame really hurt him. He's had 5 strikes so far. If he could finish it out here, one more here, he can finish out with a nice 225 game. But he just ran into a buzzsaw in Vernon Peterson with his 246.
And Greg Lindemann, best finish he's ever had in a big tournament like this. He'll take home $5,000.
Well, that'll add to the paycheck at the bowling center there.
He had hoped to stay clean and didn't expect high scores, but Vernon Peterson had other plans.
Right through the heart, the old 3-6-9-10. Spare conversion here, and he'll finish with 211. Respectable game.
score, 246 to Greg Lindemann's 211. Vernon Peterson will now face Harry Mickelson coming up right after this. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital Strikes for Kids. $1 per pin of the winning score is being donated. And so far, $484 in the coffers.
Vernon Peterson's doing his part for St. Jude's, isn't he?
All right, here's our first look at Harry Mickelson, 51 years old, from Yakima, Washington, our senior qualifier.
And we should mention as he starts off this game that there were 3 different divisions in this tournament. There was a senior division, and we can see the seniors can still bowl. There was a 40 to 49 division, and then at 39 and under, there was also a women's division. Vernon Peterson is what we would call an equal opportunity striker. He's got 16 strikes so far, 8 on lane 19 and 8 on lane 20. He's had 3 spares on lane 19, well, only 2 on 20, just 1 open frame. That was on lane 19. 484 for the 2 games. He's averaging 242. Get back to the format. The bowlers had to try and qualify for the finals. In the scores, there was 1 place for every 10 entries. As he gets a nice little bucket crumbler right there. Once the players made it to the finals, then when they bowled, half the field advanced each successive rounds, and it took 6 rounds to get where we are for the top 6 players tonight.
And those 6 players were seeded by their score across the divisions.
They did qualify in their division, the senior in his division, the 40 to 49 in his division. The women wound up going into the 39 and under, as again, Vernon Peterson starts with a double.
Mickelson is a retired school teacher and basketball coach from Kodiak, Alaska. Spent 27 years there. Taught at Kodiak High School. Returned back to the States, continental states, in 1995.
Top math. Oh, right through the nose. He says it's not how, it's how many. Harry holds the ball waist high right there. Kind of a wreck, little knee bend there, 5-step. Now he pushes it, relatively free swing, kind of rolls the ball back, and winds up way behind the foul line. Kind of spread eagle like Walter Ray Williams Jr., but he's more on top of the ball than Walter is. For Turkey. Ooh, good shot, leaves the 4-pin.
Harry had talked about the reactive resin bowling products that have really revolutionized the game in the last couple of years, and he said that it felt that it gave him more of an opportunity for the straight player to have success.
Started getting some carry where you hadn't had it before, huh? At the 4-pin, no trouble with the spare. Vernon Peterson doing everything right. Again, way to the back of the approach, heels hanging off the back edge, 5-step player. Just is doing no wrong tonight. Stands way to the back, the ball out, holding it in both hands there. Steps, now pushes it out further. Head steady all the way. Look at that cupped wrist and that high backswing, the long slide, deep knee bend. Look at the left arm out. Perfect balance at the foul line. Head over the shoulder, or his head right over his knee there.
11-pin lead, 4th frame, can go to 21 with a strike.
Well, got back just for the 2-pin, but an errant shot there. Gives Mickelson some hope. Saying he is human after all. Cross lane, at the 2-pin, straight at it. There's so many of the younger players now, they don't hook the ball at all at spares.
Is that more a function of form or bowling equipment with
Both.
the new harder
Both.
spare balls?
They take a hard ball and then they straighten the hand release out at the same time, Mike.
Well, Vernon Peterson, member of the current Team USA. Harry Mickelson, member of Team USA back in 1988 and 1999. 89 rather, under coach Fred Borden. So his international experience certainly helping out in this event.
Leaves the 2-5. He was hoping that ball would get back to the 1-3. It just didn't quite make it. At the 2-5. Tough spare. That's how you make it. Hit both pins with the ball. No trouble. However, he trails in this match by 12 pins. Both players working on spares.
Asked Harry how he made it into this final round of competition. Said he wore a horseshoe.
Has a sense of humor, doesn't he? Well, horseshoe went away right there. The 4, 6, 7. Right through the nose. Carried it in the second frame, but not here in the 5th. Hope that something bounces out. Bounced around, but not out, so he's open in the 5th frame.
And the last thing you want to do is give Vernon Peterson a break. 26-pin lead going into Peterson's 5th frame. Working on a spare. Sit. It sat right in the pocket. Solid for Peterson. Move to the 6th frame. Peterson can extend the lead to 36 with another strike.
Certainly seems like the man to beat tonight. I'm certain that the two players, Joel Reyes and Mike Truitt, sitting off the side, are thinking, how in the world am I going to beat this guy?
Solid 4.
See how
Mike Jakubowski and Mike Durbin from Samstown Bowling Center. Harry Mickelson, 6th frame, minus 26. Needs them all here. And coming up a bit high, 3-6.
just kind of sticking at the foul line, just not smooth with his finish right now. And a tough lane condition will do that to you. Harry looking at that and saying, you can do better than that. At the 3-6, cross lane, changes balls. And again, no trouble with a spare, but spares aren't going to beat Vernon. Right now, he can get the ball in the pocket, Mike, if he makes a quality shot. Whether he carries or not is one thing else. The last 2 or 3 frames, he hasn't made quality shots. It's a mental thing.
7th frame, minus 26.
He's just relaxed, stroke it now. Hooked early, right through the nose again, the 3-6 again. Harry's a down and in player. He doesn't like to try and open up the lane. He wants to keep the ball, the line tight, and very little hook right now. Just not able to make that shot. Vernon is just the opposite, Mike. He wants to open up the lane. He's the power player. We've got the contemporary player against the old-time down and in player here. We see who's winning easily.
Well, Vernon's on lane 20, and he is struck in every opportunity in this game. Come on! And does so again here in the 7th.
He likes to talk to that bowling ball. He likes to talk to that bowling ball. He's yelling at it, saying, come on right now. And it does. It's really an obedient ball.
That's good to have. He's only 24, and he really cut his teeth around the Detroit bowling scene, and what a competitive scene that is.
It is. The Dearborn Heights area he comes from. Trying for one more here. 8th frame.
Almost a 4-9. Carries the 4 out.
He's an optimist at heart. He tripped that 4, and he didn't want just that. He wanted it to hit the 9. Cross lane at the 9 pin. Doesn't change to that green ball at this pair. Doesn't matter. Makes it easily. Well, Harry Mickelson has still got a potential score of 221. So the old adage, if you can do it with a pencil, you can do it with a bowling ball. But if he's going to do it, he's got to start striking right now.
Why do you think Vernon Peterson hooked on that spare rather than throwing straight at him?
I think he played it more off of his strike line as Harry now leaves the 1, 2, 4, 10. He knew what the ball would do then. He just wanted to get it a little bit right. A lot of bowlers will do things like that, Mike. At the 1, 2, 4, 10, takes his spare ball. He's going to try and hit the 1 pin on the left, going down the left side of the lane. Does, but not quite enough. Open again. And nobody can mount a challenge to Vernon Peterson. Suddenly he's 43 pins behind. Every game has been a blowout.
Down by 43 pins, 9th frame for Mickelson. As a member of Team USA, he won a gold medal in the FIQ American Zone Tournament as a part of the men's trio with Mark Lewis and Ron Moore, and they're finding the mark on the left lane.
The old adage, too little, too late. Best he can get if he strikes it out is 196. So Peterson just a mark in one of the last 2 frames again. He keeps getting himself in these nice situations.
He wanted that one. Didn't get it, though.
Just a 10 pin. He's made several of them already. Switches to that green ball that'll go nice and straight. Left on the approach, cross lane. No turn. That's how it's done. You make it like that every time, don't you, Mike?
Unfortunately, the 10 pin and I are not on speaking terms.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. 5 pins on the first ball will secure a definite victory.
And Joel Reyes waiting in the wings.
Set. Yes.
There's that obedient ball again, sitting as Vernon commanded. Strike on the first ball in the 10th.
If he gets over his inhibitions, he might bowl pretty well, you know, I'll tell you.
He is an intense young man. And translate that emotion right to the bowling ball, and the pins are reacting. Solid strike for Peterson. With another, he'll finish at 228, setting a torrid pace. Here at the Mini-Eliminator, we're at Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas.
He's had 8 strikes in each of the 2 previous games. If he strikes here in the fill ball, he does the hat trick. And he does it.
228 and 712 for his 3 games to this point.
And nobody else can do anything. Greg Lindemann at least had a 200 game, but nobody else, nobody mounting a challenge. Maybe Joel Reyes, the only left-hander, will find something on the left side of the lane. Oh, there it says, Harry.
Well, not a bad payday for Mickelson, however. $7,500. Finishing 4th.
And he just misses again, leaves the washout one more time. So he'll try and give us a shot here to finish off the game with 182. Doesn't do it, finishes with 181.
But Vernon Peterson with a 712. And moving Ever higher is the thermometer, $712, and Michelle Daniels adding to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital and Strikes for Kids. We'll be back as Vernon Peterson will take on Joel Reyes in our semifinal match. Welcome back to the Mini-Eliminator from Samstown here in Las Vegas. Joel Reyes will try to stop the Vernon Peterson freight train here in our semifinal match.
He's letting him start on the right lane again, Mike. Everybody's let him start there and finish on the left lane. Somebody's need to change something here.
And Reyes opens with a strike. 23 years old from San Diego, California. And here's Vernon Peterson steamrolling through his first 3 matches with 7-12.
Putting up a lot of money for St. Jude's.
Oh, yeah.
And we're even after 1. And joining us is Lori Tessmeyer, Director of Operations for Turbo 2-in-1.
Hello.
Glad to have you with us, Lori.
Thanks a lot.
Tell us about Turbo's new line of products.
Well, last year we've expanded our product line to include a little bit of everything for just about any kind of bowler. We have soft grips and a little firmer grips for those people who might put a little too much on it. We got urethane slugs, which have been real popular since the reactive resin. All right.
Peterson with another double. He has opened up with a double in every match.
He's relentless. So which grips do you use?
I use the Perfect Ovals.
The Perfect Ovals,
Yes.
okay.
It's a true oval shape. It's more like the shape of the fingertip, gives you a little more feel than maybe something pitched or round.
And Turbo Grips is also involved with an amateur bowling tournament now?
Well, this amateur tournament here has been tremendously successful the last 3 years. We're real proud to be involved. It's done nothing but grow, and it's been great for amateur bowling, and we're real glad to bring it to the amateur bowlers.
And you'll be happy to know that Vernon is using Turbo 2-in-1
That's
grips.
right. Vernon has been using our grips for probably the last 3 or 4 years, and we're real proud of that.
Well, Joel Reyes opening with a double. 3rd frame, even match.
If he strikes, he can take the lead. That'd be the first time that Vernon would be behind.
And this crowd is into it as well. A lot of folks on hand to cheer for Reyes.
You got 2 young guys that are both very intense right here. There he is, perfect one in the 1-2, and his reaction.
First
Vernon.
player to put some pressure on Peterson, who responds with a turkey of his own.
So are you that intense when you bowl, Lori?
I don't know about that, but these guys are showing a lot of spirit. It's great to see that.
Vernon Peterson. Picture of concentration. Oh, good shot of Lori's grips right there. Stands up on that one. What a break. Looked like he stuck at the line or something went wrong at the end.
Looked like he stared down the back row.
He comes in light, barely hits the head pin. The 8 and the 10 are up there, but they all fall. Little twist, little off balance there. I don't know if he stuck so much. Joel trying to match that 4-bagger.
Carries the 7. Both players with 4 from the first as we move to the 5th frame, all even semifinal match here at the Mini-Eliminator. Who will be the first to blink?
Good question right there. Joel's just put everyone dead flush in the 1-2. 4-step player, free swing. Great result.
We've got a match. Peterson appreciative of that effort.
There it is. They've all looked just like that. His reaction has been similar on every 1-2.
5th frame for Peterson, all strikes.
Finally, a solid 10. So for the first time tonight, Vernon Peterson finds himself behind an opponent. His job right now, though, convert the 10-pin. And he does, no trouble.
First time he's been down in any match. It's his 6th frame. We'll see how he reacts to the pressure that Reyes is putting on him at this point.
Goes through the same pre-shot routine every time. Gets himself set, takes that nice deep breath. You can see Freddie Borden's influence on him.
Carry.
Right back in the pocket for Peterson. Thank you, Lori Tesmar, for joining us.
Thank you.
Director of Operations for Turbo 2-in-1.
6-frame replay. Vernon Peterson on the left lane, coming in just about half pocket. The 6 clipping the 10 as it goes around.
Thank you, Lori, for joining us, and we'll be back with the rest of the semifinal match here at the Mini-Eliminator. Don't go away. Here's what we're playing for. Here at the Mini-Eliminator, champion will take home a trophy and a check for $30,000. Our semifinal match. Joel Reyes, the front 5, 11-pin lead over Vernon Peterson. 6th frame, can increase that lead to 21 with a strike here.
Sometimes the toughest shot to throw is coming out of a commercial break, too. We'll see how he responds here. And right through the heart, got a good break, left just the 4-pin. Just a little soft for the speed, not as quite as aggressive. You know, he had a time for the adrenaline on the thermometer to go down just a little bit. Cross lane at the 4-pin should be a relatively easy spare for him.
First spare he shot, though.
Has it, no trouble. Needs to regroup. Leads by 10 pins.
Joe went through qualifying, was having trouble with his game. He found a ball that he forgot that he had brought. Found the ball, and that ball began working for him and led him to this point.
Is that the ball he's using now?
I do not know if that is the ball, but it got him through qualifying and into this position.
7th frame, leading by 10. Leaves the 6-pin. Just a little tight. Another easy spare. Can kind of read his thoughts, though. He's thinking that Peterson is going to double and take the lead in the match, that this 6-pin. He knows he needs to keep matching strike for strike with Peterson.
And here's Vernon Peterson on a strike in the 6th. Can take the lead back with a strike here in his 7th. Left a 10-pin on this lane. Back in the 5th.
Carry.
The double now. He takes a 1-pin lead. Playing this same angle right around the 3rd arrow, spelling it out past the 2nd. A little bit tight, but the 4-pin goes down. His reaction? Leads by 1 pin. 8th frame.
Working on a double can extend that lead. And he has struck in every frame on that left-hand lane.
Started with a 4-bagger, a spare, now 3 in a row, and leads by 11. A couple frames ago, he trailed by 11. Joel Reyes needs to regroup here in the 8th frame to strike. Oh, that's high. Just never got it back together after that commercial break. Leaves the 4-7-8. Not the easiest spare. She's just not getting it as wide. It looked like the thumb kind of dragged late out of that ball. Goes high. doesn't get a split, so he can make the spare and stay clean, but he's going to fall behind by 14 pins even if he converts it, which he does. Right now he's in the position to have any chance. He's got a strike here in the 9th frame.
That intensity level dropped just a shade, and that perhaps has caused the ball to go a little bit high on these last couple of shots.
And our scorekeeper informs us that if he strikes this game out, he would finish with 255. So anything can still happen here, but he needs to strike here in the 9th frame. And does. And does. Peterson wants a re-rack here on lane 20. Asks our tournament director, Frank Ellenberg. Boy, it looks good to me. I don't know what he sees. But in this kind of situation, you can see a ring and 10 on the best of racks.
Or is it perhaps more that he would just like a little more time?
That's a
to think this
possibility
shot
too,
over?
Mike. That's a possibility too. Big frame here, leading by 14, can bump it up to 24 with a strike in the 9th frame.
Oh, and running it out.
He picked the right rack, evidently. 2 4-baggers in this game right now. Sends it wide. Out just past the second arrow, hits half pocket. See, that's sick. He likes it. He knew he threw it well. He could feel it coming off his hand. Already has the 8 strikes in this game that he got in the 3 previous games. Trying to add to that. One here will ensure the victory.
And the intensity is back. Look at that scowl.
It's back. When did it ever leave? I mean, he left a 10-pin in the 5th frame, or he'd have the first 10.
It was a blink of an eye. I don't know if it wasn't a real large window of opportunity.
Well, he had 24 strikes going into this game. One more, and he's going to have 11 more. Would make 35 for the 4 games. He's going to add $279 more for St. Jude's. And Michelle's going to be out there coloring in all the way to the top of that thermometer.
Only Mike Truitt stands his way for the title here at the Mini-Eliminator. 279 on top of already incredible bowling. That makes $991 for St. Jude's. Michelle's going to be busy coloring in that thermometer.
And just to give the fans at home, if he'd have shot 1,000, that would be a 250 average for the 4 games. So he's just under that. And he answered the question when Joel Reyes started with 5 in a row, what he would do if an opponent bowled a quality game against him, which Joel has done. It didn't make any difference.
Joel Reyes finishes 3rd, collects $10,000. First time in the Mini-Eliminator. Not a bad first effort. And we'll be back. 279, 223. Vernon Peterson advances to our championship match. And when we come back, a special interview.
And joining me right now is the director of bowling here at Sam's Town, Mike Kaufman. Mike, you've just completed running a very successful Eliminator tournament this week. When is your next Eliminator planned for?
The International Eliminator will be here January 8th through 16th. That's a $1 million event where the first place prize is $100,000, Mike.
Exciting event last year, too.
Very exciting. We had 641 entries and 43 people from all over the world.
Now, the Eliminator has a kind of a different format. Explain it to us, will you?
It's the only megabuck tournament that offers a double elimination format, meaning that you can have a second chance to win the tournament. You bowl not head-to-head, but against everybody in the squad, and 50% of the squad advances. It guarantees everybody that advances a minimum cash prize of $125 in the second chance bracket and $250 in the winner's bracket.
How many entries last year?
641.
It's better this year.
Oh, absolutely. Entries are coming in good right now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. And here's a look at the Mini-Eliminator prize list. $30,000 for first, $15,000 for second, $10,000 for third, and on down the line.
Very good prize list for the 1997 tournament. This next game's worth $15,000.
Big match for sure. Total paid out $527,000. Total entries is a new record at 2,178. Steve Richter, our defending champion. And taking a look at next year's dates, June 30 through July 7, 1998. Call 1-800-VEGAS-95 for information.
And some of the leading scorers this week, our leading senior series was from Vinny Atria. He had 742. And then our leading series for people under 40, or 40 to 49 rather, is our tournament leader here, Mike Truitt, shot 763. And the leading women's series was by Kendra Cameron, 716. And the 39 and under, the biggest series there was by Nam Dang, 781. And in this 4th annual Mini-Eliminator, we have one 300 game. That was by Sean Murray. They will have another one here by Vernon Peterson in this last game.
Kendra Cameron was Hedden's Female Amateur Bowler of the Year, and joining us is Don Scudder, Hedden's Male Amateur Bowler of the Year, being presented the award by Bill Crispin, president of Storm.
And in the first match, Vernon Peterson started right off as he beat the local favorite here. 238 to 188, had 8 strikes in that match. They moved him right up the line to take on Greg Lindemann. No mercy there, 246 to 211. At least Lindemann got a 200. Then he went on to face the senior bowler, Harry Mickelson. Easy game there too, 228, 181, 8 strikes again. Then Reyes gave him a battle, started with the first 5, but again, Peterson prevailed, 279 to 223.
Well, it wouldn't be Las Vegas without a temperature rising, and the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital strikes for kids approaching that $1,000 mark. Dollar per pin for the winning scores, and Vernon Peterson is making quite a contribution so far, $991. The winning score will be added as Mike Truitt is the only person in the way of Vernon Peterson in our championship match coming up next. Mike Jakubowski and Mike Durbin, our championship match in the Mini-Eliminator from Samstown Bowling Center. Mike Truitt, the only person left to stand in the way of the Vernon Peterson steamroller.
He takes very little time, but he's allowed Vernon Peterson to start on that lane 20 one more time. An emotional player, Truitt is. If he can get some strikes going, he'll be moving like that on every one of them.
Strikes are going to be needed. Vernon Peterson rolling through this field in the Mini-Eliminator. 35 strikes in his 4 games to this point.
36.
36 strikes and screeching at the line. Coming through with a lot of power.
And a lot of decibels. He keeps yelling at those pins. Maybe that's the secret here. We need to start.
I got to try that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And again, wants to get off to that quick double. And everybody's allowed him to do that by starting on the right lane, that he gets them behind before they've gotten up to throw their second frame.
He's got 10 strikes in a row on the left lane.
Carry!
Make it 11. And an opening double in our championship match. Peterson volleys right back to Truitt. Truitt is a firefighter in the city of Rockford, Illinois for 25 years, looking to put out the fire of Vernon Peterson.
Boy, it may be difficult. He needs a big hose to do that.
Light mixing, can't carry the 7.
Mike Truitt stands rather erect and back at the end of the approach, just like Vernon Peterson. 5-step player. Now he pushes the ball, pretty free swing, head is steady, arm behind his back just a little bit. Good balance at the foul line, throws the ball relatively straight. Played outside most of the day today, has moved to a different angle because he didn't have a good ball reaction outside at all.
One thing that really impresses me about Mike is you watch when he gets on the approach, he does all of his thinking here. when he gets on the approach, and be a 1-2 pause, and he goes.
Yeah, he takes no time once he gets up there.
He's set, and there he goes.
In the pocket, carries the 10-pin. Could have been 3 in a row. A stubborn 7-pin there.
Peterson has started with a double in every match.
Oh!
Coming up high and crumbling the house.
He's even getting the breaks. He finally made a slightly errant shot there, tripped the 4. He was a little worried that was going to snap through and leave a split like he did back 2 or 3 games ago. It seems like 2 hours ago. But he has had 1 open frame tonight. For 4. Has it. Mike Truitt, you know, he steps up in the 4th frame. For have any chance, he's got a strike. Down 30 pins already.
Mike finished 7th in this year's ABC Masters qualifying. Ended up being defeated in match play.
Come on.
Oh, same hit, but this time he leaves the 10-pin. Normally, you never leave a 10-pin, or very seldom on that light shaker hit like that, but he left it. At the 10-pin, has the spare.
Mike finished 4th in last year's high roller, and in the semifinal match, he needed a strike to win. Threw a really nice shot and left a fast 8 on a 4-7, and he said that shot has haunted him for the past year, and he's really looking to get some revenge in another Megabucks tournament.
Come on.
Well, no trouble with the left lane. His trouble is with Vernon Peterson.
Peterson works with coach Alita Sill, also from the Detroit area. LPBT Hall of Famer, 5 in a row for Peterson. Here in the championship match, winner takes home $30,000.
Seems like all the shots have been like this. This one's a little light in the pocket, snaps that 10-pin out of there. His reactions have been similar every time. He's got 12 in a row over 2 games, the old Andy Verapampa 300.
Come on, Bert.
6 in a row, halfway home.
And before we go to break, let's take a look at that 6th strike.
Again, over the 3rd arrow, out past the 2nd, back into the 1-3, 10 pins in the pit. Eyes on that target, good balance, good follow through. And just another ho-hum strike.
Wow. And the front 6 will be back with our championship match conclusion after this. Mike Truitt working on a strike, down 40 pins, 6th frame, can cut to 30.
And he gets up on the wrong lane. He wanted to get up on the lane he's been getting strikes on. He says, I haven't gotten a strike over here. To have any chance, because you never know what's going to happen. He's got a strike here.
Can you slide out?
Well, the only suspense left now is whether Peterson will shoot 300. Again, coming out of commercial break just seems so difficult to make that quality shot. The 4-6-7 open in the 6th frame, falls behind by 60+ pins.
Mike was the high qualifier in the 40 to 49 division at 763. Finds the pocket here in the 7th.
Interesting that he picked a finish on lane 20 when he's just drilled 19 every shot. Well, now that Vernon seems assured of victory, will he let down any here, do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any letdown in this game. Left that a bit outside.
Well, he had 13 in a row before he left the 2-7-8. Let's see if he knows how to do some spare conversions here. And he does. He can do no wrong today. Beautiful shot here. Plays it basically off of his strike angle. Tries to hit the 2-pin on the right. The ball carries through to get the 8, and the 2 hits the 7. Perfectly done. Could use that as a tip.
8th frame, 59-pin lead. That breaks up a string of 13 in a row on lane 19.
Right now, just wants to make the spares. Not give Truitt any chance.
Now Truitt needs sheet for 228 here in the 8th frame. Peterson at a 240 pace.
And looking at the score, he's figured it all out. Added it up in his head, and all bowlers are mathematicians. They calculate that score like a calculator. Trying for his first double.
Can you?
Still alive. The 8th frame there. Strike in the 9th. Peterson, even with a strike here by Truitt, Peterson's back in that position, a mark in the last 2 frames, and he wins. He seems like he's been in that spot every game. Trying for a turkey. Good shot, but left the 4-pin.
Crowd appreciative of the effort, and Mike is
waves the white flag.
Truce.
A la Fuzzy Zeller with Greg Norman back there several years ago.
Mike finished 5th in the PBA Nationals back in 1983.
Yeah, I was
But
on
today-
that telecast
Is that right? Back in 83.
back in '83.
Hey, that's closer. Come on.
Well, suddenly now that it doesn't matter, he starts getting a few taps.
He's human.
Leaves the light 10-pin on lane 20.
The reigning United States Amateur Champion will add the Mini-Eliminator to his resume.
Also $30,000 to his bank account.
And not to mention around $1,200 for the St. Jude's kids.
Right back in the 1-3. Carries them all at that point. And strike it out here to finish with 255. The best thing we can say about all this, besides him adding money to his bank account, is he's putting money in the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And that means he's going to have at least $1,240 some there. One more strike and it'll be $1,246. Finishes it out the way he started it.
Vernon Peterson, champion at the Mini-Eliminator, averaging 249 and storming through this field with an impressive victory here at Sam's Town in Las Vegas. And unfortunately, another disappointing victory for Mike Truitt.
The right lane, Mike. He's looking up at the score here. I guess waiting for people to set. Wants to know if he has to finish.
Although they always told me in high school, if you're going to lose, lose big.
Well, he's decided, okay, throws it right through the heart of the pins.
Nothing he could do about it. Vernon Peterson's day.
All the way through for the first match. At the 6, 7, 10.
How about it? There you go.
Spare.
All right. And why not? A measure of revenge for Truitt. And a great finish. 6, 7, 10 and a strike for Truitt and a 194. And something for Mike Truitt to remember.
As he makes the 6, 7, 10. Just to show you, Mike Truitt says it's the ball, because on the fill ball, he picked up Peterson's ball and threw it down there to strike on his fill ball.
Bit of gamesmanship and a bit of good sportsmanship. And the intensity of Vernon Peterson as intensity turns to victory.
Well, it was 5 games. He earned it all the way through. 44 strikes for this young man. The National Amateur showed why he did it.
And we'll be back to meet our winner, Vernon Peterson, your winner at the Mini-Eliminator, right after this. The championship round finals of the 4th annual Mini-Eliminator are being brought to you by Strike Bowling Concepts, Just Throw Strikes, and by Grip Right, #1 with the pros, and by Sam's Town Hotel, Gambling Hall, and Bowling Center, where locals bring their friends. And here's your runner-up at the Mini-Eliminator from Sam's Town, Mike Truitt. And Mike kind of run into the buzzsaw there.
I sure did. I bowled with Vernon, just met him and his dad this week, and he's somebody the youth should look up to today. The kid's fantastic, and I knew if I didn't have the first 9, I was in trouble. And I'd like to thank Sam's Town. I love it here. Stay here twice a year. I want to thank Storm Bowling Balls and Mr. Bill Chrisman, Chip Zilke, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Hedden, and all of our sponsors here. It was a great tournament, and I'm happy to finish second.
Mike Durbin, we have some prizes for Mike Truitt.
Yes, Mike, it was fantastic bowling this week. It was an exciting match on a TV show. I want to present this check for 2nd place. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Nice bowling.
Thank you.
It was a great week, great tournament, all the best.
Thank you very
Nice
much.
bowling.
Appreciate it. And again, Vernon, you bowled great, and I wish you luck the rest of your career. Thank you.
Mike, just one question. All week long, I saw you were playing outside. When you practiced, you were outside. And suddenly a different ball, and you moved inside. Any regrets on that?
Yeah, a couple regrets. Number 1, I should have used Vernon's ball. I used it in the 11th and threw a dead flush strike. But there's some lanes you can play out, but they dried them up. Vernon dried them up, and I knew he did, and I figured if I wheeled it in his dirt area, I could get it to the hole every time I did. I didn't rattle him. But I think I made the right move, the right choice, just bowled the guy that was better.
Well, this night, hard to see that anybody was any better than he was.
Exactly. I was down there watching him practice from 10 lanes down, and I thought if I don't come out and shake him up right away, but he's had too much experience in the amateur ranks. You can't shake up a kid like that. And hats off again to him, and his father's a great guy, and I wish him the best.
Did you think at any time that maybe you should have let him start the match so that you could have got your score posted first?
Not really. I wanted to, no, I wanted to finish. I figure in this, when I need a strike, I can get it. Didn't happen. So I picked up the spare, though. 6, 7, 10.
And we'll be back to meet our winner, Vernon Peterson, right after this. And the winner of the 1997 Mini-Eliminator is Vernon Peterson. And Vernon, getting off to a good start was certainly your key. 22 of 25 strikes in the first 5 frames.
All I want to do is just get off to a quick start, throw the ball in the pocket, hope to carry, make the right adjustments when the lane started to break down. The left lane started to hook a little more. That's when I threw a split on left lane. I knew I had to make some kind of adjustment and just wanted to try to stay ahead of the opponents. I mean, I knew every match was going to be tough. When I semifinal match, he came out throwing strikes just like me. I mean, I wrapped the temp and I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. But just happened to kept plugging away.
Bill Chrisman has the championship trophy.
Congratulations, you bowled great, Vernon. Actually, you really bowled up a storm this week.
Thank you very much. Couldn't have without your ball.
And Chip Zelke.
Vernon, on behalf of Storm and Turbo and all the other sponsors associated with the Mini-Eliminator, it's my pleasure to present you with this check for $30,000. Great bowling.
Thank you very much. You guys make a wonderful ball, and I'm glad I could use it today.
Thanks very much.
It came in very handy. I would like to thank Storm, Turbo 2-1 Grips, American Strike. All the sponsors here at Samstown have been great. I stay here every time, just like Mike said, it's a great place to stay. They're very friendly. Frank, Steve, you guys run a wonderful tournament. You kept us on our toes. We played anywhere from fifth arrow to the gutter.
And Mike Durbin, you have a question.
Vernon, I was watching everybody in practice, and it seemed like the lanes were just a little bit different from when you'd finished up in the qualifying and the match play and everything. And you were throwing a few shots, and then you took some tape out of your ball, made some kind of adjustment, and after that, you were just throwing lots of strikes.
Well, I tried playing outs like we did earlier today, but it just, everything I had was just flipping up too soon, rolling out. So I went to the pearlized ball, went straighter, seemed to have better reaction, and it just kept getting better and better. I mean, I made the right adjustment. I mean, some of the training I got from like Leah Sill and Team USA has helped fine-tune you. I just tried to stay firm at the line, throw good shots with speed on it, because I didn't want to let up any speed because I knew it would hook more.
You just seemed, we were watching you all the time, you seemed so intense, so focused, so really into it. What was mentally going through your mind all the way through?
Well, after the first match, I won more money in one tournament than I ever did, so I just figured each time I was getting better, so I wanted to get one of these trophies at least. I figured more matches on TV, the more fun it would be.
We're going to show you some of that intense behavior. There you are. Well, what's going through your mind as you're throwing these shots?
Hit my mark and hope it strikes. Just every time, every strike just kept building up, and I was just getting closer to the title, which I really wanted. I mean, you've had people like Chris Barnes win this. You had Healy today. You had Brian Kretz who won the Eliminator All Bowl today. It was a tough condition, and I've only been out of juniors 2 years, and I just wanted to, I feel I'm up with the ranks now. This is a great accomplishment.
Sure is.
Not to mention the fact that your $1,246 turns into $1,246 for the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. And we've got a special guest to bring up here, too. Let's hear it for Vernon and Pop.
Well, Dad, I imagine you're very proud of this boy.
Yes, I am. I'm very proud of him.
So he bowls just like you do, right?
No, I don't bowl. I was never that good. I have a heart condition, so I can't bowl, so I just put all my time with him.
Okay, thanks for coming on.
Your winner, let's hear it for Vernon Peterson. For Mike Durbin, this is Mike Jakubowski, ESPN Bowling, the worldwide leader in sports.